Good morning, everyone. I think this is a very important message that I need to convey. There was a paper article, Times of India article yesterday that said, "Docs caution of liver damage linked to Giloy," written by Malathi.iyer at timesgroup.com. This goes on to talk about how 6 patients had severe liver damage due to imbibing Giloy, and that they cautioned against taking it. Now let's see how much truth there is to this article, whether this is a well-researched news article, and whether actually there's a scientific merit to the published study. So I actually went and dug up the study, and this was done on a group of 6 patients. The title of the study is "Herbal Immune Booster Induced Liver Injury in the COVID-19 Pandemic, a Case Series." Okay, now 2 things that we have to remember: 6 patients. That's statistically highly insignificant. You cannot make any conclusions based on this number of patients. But having said that, let's go ahead and then look at the actual paper and see what these patients are, what happened to them, and then what is the conclusion that you can derive from this kind of a study. So they've had 6 patients, of which 4 of them were already chronically diagnosed with a liver disease. So they had a chronic liver disease already. Okay, and 2 of them didn't have any problems prior to admission into this particular hospital. They go on, the study goes on to show and determine that the conclusion of the study is that it's possible because of taking Giloy. Now, Giloy is being recommended by the Ayush Ministry. Giloy is a well-known, highly beneficial plant. Various aspects of the plant, various parts of the plant are used for various different disease conditions as per Ayurveda. It's also known as Guduchi. It's also known as Amrita. Amrita meaning nectar. So because of the beneficial effects of it. And there are more than 7,200 published papers, peer-reviewed published papers. Peer-reviewed meaning other scientists have actually gone through the work and shown that the conclusions and the determination of that particular paper is indeed valid. That's what peer-reviewed means. So there are more than 7,200 peer-reviewed papers that show that Tinospora cordifolia, Guduchi or Amrita or Giloy have hepatoprotective effects on the liver. Now, what does this particular study say? So they've actually done a model wherein they've seen this particular sets of patients, and they've actually used what's called a RUCAM score. RUCAM. You know what RUCAM is? RUCAM stands for R-U-C-A-M. This is the Russell-Uclaf-Cossel assessment method. Okay, it is a method in which you can actually assess whether a particular drug causes hepatotoxicity or not. It's very specific to the liver. Again, what they've shown, and it ranges from -11 or -9 to +13, depending upon whether the person was chronically affected. And there are several ways of doing it. So it ranges from not possible to cause to a definitive cause, and there are several aspects in between. So the updated RUCAM score, I'm reading it out directly from this paper. The updated RUCAM score showed possible DILI. DILI stands for drug-induced liver injury in 4 and probable in 2 patients. Now, possibility is such a wide, it's possible, anything is possible. It's possible to die from taking too much water. That's actually a scientifically established fact. If you drink way too much water within too short a period of time, you end up getting hyponatremia and you could die. So it's a possibility that does not bear a scientific merit. Okay, that's point number 1. Probability is it's possible, but these 2 patients number 4 and 5 in this particular case, who had the probable index in this RUCAM score, were actually already chronically diagnosed with liver conditions. They've had this liver problem for a long time, and both had hypothyroidism. And they've been under treatment with several other allopathic drugs before. Now, 2 things that come to mind. 1, does this particular set of causality and scores merit this sort of a headline? And 2, does Times of India really have any scientific journal writers or reporters to actually come up with something like that, wherein they say that you have to be cautioned? The doctors themselves in this particular study themselves have gone on to show that RuCam has not been found to be reliable in the presence of chronic liver disease. So using this particular score is not a reliable way of actually assessing causality. They've said that RuCam has not been found to be reliable in the presence of chronic liver disease. And a limitation of our study, I'm reading directly from the paper, a limitation of our study was not having serologies for Epstein-Barr virus, herpes simplex virus, and cytomegalovirus, which could have further modified the scores. So they don't know. So we also did not analyze the contents of the plant parts which the patients had consumed. Okay, there is a lot of limitations to this particular study. And what they also go on to show is that although this herb has been used for decades in various different hepatoprotective formulations, the medical profession needs to be familiar with the knowledge of the various local names of Tinospora cordifolia, as the relevant information may be completely missed. Now, why is this important? There are two species of Tinospora in the country, Tinospora cordifolia, which has got extremely beneficial effects, and then Tinospora crispa. Okay, now Tinospora crispa, which looks very similar, the leaves look similar, the twigs look similar, the plant looks very similar. Tinospora crispa actually has negative effects on hepatoprotection in the sense that it actually is hepatotoxic. Now, these 6 patients, they've all undergone self-medication, meaning they've gone to some shop, they've bought this thing that they thought was Tinospora cordifolia and have taken decoctions or whichever way in which they've self-medicated, and they fell sick. Now, we don't know whether it's actually this that caused it, or whether it's the underlying chronic condition that caused it, or whether for the fact that, they have some other issue like medication due to other diseases that they have that possibly causes liver injury. So having all of this information without having done any research on it, coming up with an article headline that says, a newspaper headline that says docs caution of liver damage linked to Giloy, okay, is, I think, of malified intent, very malicious, very mischievous. And I think Times of India needs to get its act together if it really wants to play a constructive role in making sure that people are actually protecting themselves against COVID. Now, let me be very categorical in saying that Tinospora cordifolia is an excellent hepatoprotective. 2, you have no business self-medicating yourself. 3, make sure you don't get it from one of those local shops. Make sure any Tinospora cordifolia, not Tinospora crispa, look for it. You're all in the internet age right now. Look for the relevant information. You need to use Tinospora cordifolia, not Tinospora crispa. Make sure that it's in the relevant information and get it from a bona fide company that is GMP certified, meaning good manufacturing practices, which means they know that the material they're getting is the right material. Now, I'm also going to show you something very startling and very important. Here is a list that I have published in 2016 already in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences, a list of 100 different drugs that cause hepatotoxicity. The most commonly used drugs that are hepatotoxic, and you will be surprised to know that things as simple as amoxicillin, azithromycin, anabolic steroids that you take when you're going doing your bodybuilding and gymming, carbamazepine, chlorpromazine, all contraceptives, okay? Then diclofenac, then ibuprofen, nimesulide, every single one of these, statins, atorvastatin, the statins that you commonly use for controlling cholesterol, every single one of them is hepatotoxic. Do you question that? Do you see any headlines in the newspapers saying that these are cytotoxic? Be very careful. Ultimately, what you really need to understand is that it's about risk to benefit. Okay, you need to make sure that the benefits far outweigh the risks, and I'm not even talking about the allopathic medicines over here, because here the benefits definitely don't outweigh the risks. You still have to be very careful taking these allopathic medicines. You need to be a scientist to understand this. You need to understand this from the viewpoint of various aspects, and it's not something that you take from a newspaper headline written by by a newspaper reporter who has no clue what she's writing about. So please caveat emptor, meaning let the buyer beware before you read and imbibe and assimilate such information. Please reach out to us. You can reach out to us at www.jummi.in. You'll see the ticker underneath below. ask us questions. We'll be happy to answer your questions. You can just drop in a note in the contact form. We'll get back to you. This is for all Ayurvedic doctors out there, all allopathic doctors out there. We're a bunch of scientists over here. We know what we're doing. We understand science. We understand plants. We understand chemicals. So let's not jump the gun. Let's be very careful before we spread panic. Thank you very much.